Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, if you're a long time fan of the channel, then you'll know that it's no secret that I love my bags and I also like my watches. So I brought out my rucker with me today to bring out all of my equipment, and to make sure that I was here on time for you guys, we're going to have a look at the GW-M5610. So I think, in my own humble opinion, the Casio G-Shock GW-M5610 is possibly the most bang for your buck that you can get with a G-Shock. There are, don't get me wrong, there's a G-Shock out there that has got everything in it, but it probably costs you about £500 or £600, $500 or $600. The GW-M5610 has got so much packed into this watch, and you can pick them up for around about €100, £100, $100. Those leaves falling, that's gorgeous. Anyway, so there's a lot packed into this small timepiece, so if that's what you're after, then yes, stay tuned for this one. Now what I'll do, as I usually do, I'll turn the camera around so that we can take a closer look, but whilst I'm doing that, I definitely say if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because I will leave a link in the description below, because I'm also recently did some content on the Axwell wallet, so I'm going to be giving one of those away, so I'll leave a link below, part of the thing you need to be subscribed to the channel and see all of the other amazing EDC content that I have here on Moorlander EDC. But yes, if you'd like to take part, I'll leave the links below so that you can see more from that. And hey, if you really enjoyed this content today as well, like, subscribe and share, all the usual stuff. And if it's been of use, you're thinking of picking up this watch and you'd like to say thank you, there's a thank you button below where you can buy me a pint. That would be amazing. But for now, let's turn the camera around and take a closer look at the Casio G-Shock GW-M5610. So here we have the GW-M5610. So we'll go around the watch, we'll have a look at some of the functions, some of the things that I really like, and then one possible thing that I just think isn't the best. It's the strap. Sorry, I did a weird Joe Biden whispery thing there. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see the first thing that is very clear on there is that this is one of Casio's G-Shock squares. Now, I'm not sure why they call it a square, mainly because it's not a square. If you look, we have these rounded off corners here, so really they should be calling this the G-Shock octagonals, but you know, for some strange reason somebody called them the square. It does have that classic look. The main reason that I went for this version is it's very reminiscent of those original G-Shocks that came out in the mid to late 80s with the colours that are on here. So this is all black with red, gold, and these really nice kind of teal accents on all of the extra little bits that are on here. As far as the operation of this is concerned, it's all done through these buttons, 4 buttons that are at 11 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. I guess, I think that's where they are, although you could say that really this is more of like a 2:15 and this is more like a 4:30 kind of place. But functions wise, you know, all of the functions that are on this watch are all dealt with through these 4 buttons. Now, as previously mentioned, there are a lot of functions on this small watch which we will cover. And as this is a G-Shock, it means that it absolutely will take a kicking. So there are some features on here which are very similar to all G-Shocks in the fact that it's water resistant down to 200 meters. And you know, the way in which this has been constructed, there is a metal back, but the rest of the construction from the outside is all made from resin to make sure that it will, you know, it will take those impacts if you were to put this through the ringer as such. The strap is designed in such a way so that if it is dropped, it will also act as a spring as well to make sure that it is protected as well. Now, as far as the flip side to this, I'll try and see if I can get this in the light. If I can't, I'll make sure I take a photograph of this. So the module number on this is the 3495. On the back it says GW5610 GW-M5610U stainless steel back, made in Taiwan. Although these are made in Taiwan, I know that they are designed in Japan. Water resistant to 20 bars, shock absorbing structure. Then you've got the tough solar and the multiband 6 there on the back as well. Fairly standard information. The straps, although they have these small screws that are on here, they are there mainly to hold the fascia onto the actual face itself. They're not actually structurally there to keep the lugs on, but you can see that there are small lugs in there which can be quite easily popped out with a lug tool. Now we'll go through some of the features on the face here. So here across in large numbers there, hopefully you'll be able to see that you can see the date clearly. Sorry, you can see the time clearly. You can have both 12-hour format on this, or you can have 24-hour format on this. I'm recording in the morning, but it is on 24 hours because, of course, I'm an adult and only adults do 24-hour watches. Across the top here, you also have a small window for the date. I've also, which is one of the massive benefits of this version, and that is probably sneaking a little bit in here. So I forget this is the DW5610. So for all intents and purposes, when you look at these, they are both very, if I can get them back into the light, out of the light, very similar watches. But if you look up into the top right hand corner where the date is, the date on this one is set in a small dot matrix display, whereas the date on this one uses the kind of standard hour fingers. Not fingers, but I forget how this is referred to. So that means that you can only do this in certain, or only show certain bits of information on here, whereas on the GW5610, with this being a dot matrix, you can, it means that Casio have a little bit more customization that they can do to this. So one of the things that I really appreciate is the fact that through the settings, you can decide whether you want to have it on the format that we use here in the UK, where you have the date and then the month, or if you want, you can swap it to very similar to how they have it in the US, where you have the month and then the date, but there is the option to be able to change that, which I think is brilliant as well. Then next to that, you can see that it also says the day. Now, just to show some additional things that you can see on the screen here, so at the bottom, this does have Casio's tough solar on here, which is one of the huge benefits that you get with the GW-M5610. The battery on this will last indefinitely. You might need to change it after however many years, but it's going to last a lot longer, the ones that don't have the tough solar on here. But on the bottom here, where you've got L, M and H, the L, M and H are indicators of how much battery you have. So if this was out of the light for a set period, then it would go down. So at the moment it's on H, which is high, M is moderate and L is low. So if it is ever on low, all you need to do is take it out, put it into the window, and then it will be able to pick up some of the light. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but the way in which the tough solar works as well is it will pick up and use any light source. So even if you're in a place where you can't pick it up and put it onto the window, you put it in front of a light and it will use some of that energy and be able to convert that into electricity to be able to recharge the battery. Another really useful point on here as well is just at the top in this gold text, it does say multiband 6. It also says this on the back here as well. Where does it say it? It says tough solar and multiband 6 just there. You might not be able to see that. Apologies if you can't. So the way that multiband 6 works is that there are antenna radio masts all around the world to make sure that there is a regular time update, and this is a watch that can be able to recognize that radio signal to make sure that it is always up to date. So as far as being able to keeping its time and being able to keep the best time that you can, whether you're here in Europe, North America, Asia, Africa, wherever you are, this will be able to use the multiband 6 signals to be able to recalibrate the time on here. Now, as I keep saying, you really do get a lot just in this small watch to give you that extra bang for your buck. So as far as going through the different modes, it's all done through the button here in the bottom left hand corner. So the first mode that you have on there is world time, and there are a lot of world times that you can go through, but what it uses again is this additional display here in the top hand corner. So as you cycle through these, it will be able to show you where you are in the world with each of those times. So at the moment there it's on London, and you can see that will scroll through. It also has alarms, so this has 5 independent alarms which can be snoozed, and you also have your hourly time signal on there, which if I didn't actually have that on. I really enjoyed the hourly time signals on these, so I've just turned that on knowing because I've completely forgotten. But you can set up all of those individually. So if maybe there are points in the day where you need to take some medication, or there's certain things that you need to do at a certain time, then you've got all of those 5 independent alarms that you can use. After that, you have a stopwatch which goes down to hundredths of seconds, which is great. I know a lot of people really like to have that level of detail on there. Now, as I'm going through these, I just want to also point out, which is something that I might not have pointed out on the previous screen, is that up in the top right hand corner on that small display as well, it still shows your time on there as well. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you need to keep abreast of what time it is, you can do your stopwatching and also be able to see that there in the top right hand corner. After stopwatch, you then have your countdown timer. At the moment it's set for 10 minutes, but using the adjust button here at the top, you can adjust that to whatever you'd like to. I think it's either 1 minute. Oh, actually, let's have a check. It either goes down to 1 minute or it goes down to 1 second. So yeah, it does. It goes down to 1 second. If you were really you wanted to do something that was that low, can we get this to go backwards? I can never remember. No, it has to go all the way through. So if you wanted this just to be 1 second, let's get that. Don't want to go past it. Then you can do your countdown timer just for 1 second, which would be really annoying. Then after that, you can press it again and it will take you back to the main display mode. Now, as Casio do with a lot of their watches, they have certain beeps for the different steps, and then when you get back to the main mode, you'll hear that it is a slightly different beep. So hopefully you'll be able to hear that. If not, I'll just bring it up to the microphone now. On that last beep, hopefully you might have heard there that it's just a different pitch, so that you know that you have returned back to that day keeping mode. As far as being able to change the things on here, so if you have it on there, so there you have your local time. You can then set it so whether it wants to actually automatically update the time. Then you can go through each of the different settings to be able to change the different minutes on there if you did need to change that, if it wasn't on auto. And there is the date. There is the as far as the date settings, and then it should allow you, there's 24 hours, and then on this one allows you to then be able to change over those settings if you prefer to have it so that it's month and then date rather than date and then month. There are some settings on there as far as which language you would like to have it on, which certainly isn't available on other watches. Keytones allows you to decide whether you want the keytones on when you press each of the buttons. The light is how long you prefer to have the light on. And then whether you're receiving, sorry, this is the receiving the world times multibands on. Power, as far as power saving is concerned, you can set this. So if I put this in a dark room and I don't have it turned on, or it's not moved, or it's not got any light for a certain period, it will make sure that it goes into a hibernation mode until it recognizes that it's been moved or it's been put into the light. and then we get back round to here. Sorry, that bit is actually the daylight is the daylight savings bit. Oh no, sorry, that is the world time. Sorry, where did I go wrong there? Let's go back to London, Lisbon. Where's that daylight savings? Yes, that's the daylight savings, sorry about that. And then press it again and it will turn that back off. So really is a lot of functions in here. Now, the one thing that I said that, well, pretty much everything on here I really like. I think this is an absolutely amazing watch. The one thing that I don't like is the strap. I think the strap on this is just meh at its finest. There's not really much I can say about it. This strap has been used on quite a few other watches. Here you can see the same on the oh, I think we've just gone out of focus. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get you back in focus. It's the same strap that's used on the DW-5610. It's the same strap that was used on the GA-2100. There are just nicer straps out there that Casio have made, that G-Shock have made, and you're probably thinking, well, how do you quantify something like that? And let's bring in some nicer straps. So this is the original Mudman strap, still on the Mudman. This has got a really nice texture to it. It also uses the double tangs as well. On the reverse, hopefully you can see in here that again it's got a really nice texture to it as well. It's clear that they do have nice straps in their arsenal. They just choose not to use it for this one. Here again, we've got the GA 2000. Again, it's just got this really nice fluting at the top. It's probably just a little bit wider as well, which is nice. It's a little bit longer again, which is nice. And it also has this really nice texture to it. I think when they're designing these watches, this is how the conversation goes. Dave! Dave! Yeah, what's up, buddy? What's up? I've spent a while working on this really nice watch. Have you got any nice straps? No, mate, no. Only the shit ones are left. Do you want me to send you one? Yeah, no worries, Dave. Cheers. Thanks for nothing. Now, I think you might think that I'm joking when I say that, but I genuinely do. I can't understand why they keep putting this such basic, vanilla, horrible strap on such amazing watches. But life has taught me that a strap like this can easily be changed, and I highly recommend that if you do pick up this watch that you do change the strap. You can pick up new lugs for these and then you can put a new strap on there. But as far as do I think that it tarnishes a beautiful watch like this? No, definitely not. This watch is 99.9% perfect. It's just a shame that, yeah, they continue to use these horrible straps. Now, Casio really have thrown everything that they possibly could do, plus the kitchen sink, into this watch. It could have been bigger. I've probably mentioned that just, but you know, it could have been bigger. Not too much bigger. I don't think it could have been too much bigger, but I'd like a larger watch. But you know, I have 7.5 inch wrists, so I appreciate that on a 7.5 inch wrist, you know, some watches will always look on the smaller side. But if you're after that quintessential square G-Shock, I think the GW-M5610 has got everything that you need in there, and you're setting yourself up for many years of use out of this. I know that there are people, in fact, let's hear in the comments below, do you have the same watch as this? What sort of, you know, battles have you been through with this watch and it's just come out the other side? It's always good to hear those sort of comments, because people that are watching this, you know, I'm very thankful that you take my advice. But pure anecdotal people that have had this, if you comment below, then that would be amazing, and people can go and they can read those comments, and I know that they'll definitely help them. But yes, so my original point with this awesome G-Shock was the fact that, you know, you get the most bang for your buck with this, and I really do stand by that because of the amount that Casio and G-Shock who've been able to forge into this small timepiece that just fits on your wrist. Absolutely amazing. Now we've got Black Friday coming up, unless you're watching this in the future. I'm sure you probably will be watching this in the future, but anyway, so I'll leave some links below. Some of those may be affiliate links, probably will be affiliate links. It just helps channels like mine to be able to purchase things like this. Now, even if you're not watching a channel like mine, with Black Friday coming up, if you know that you have a favourite YouTuber that has made some content and that you know that they use affiliate links, it's to no extra cost to you. And again, with Black Friday coming up, there's going to be a lot of people using those links, so I'd always recommend, just if you know somebody that does have a link, then if you click on one of their links, they will really appreciate it. Whether that's me or whether that's another YouTube content creator out there, they will 100% appreciate those links. And yes, I'll leave some links to G-Shock and all of that sort of stuff. I'll leave some of my social media links below as well. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. What the hell is this? Ooh, air ambulance. Yeah, and that's rushing. They're either going to somebody. Where are we headed? We're headed to North Staff, so they're probably headed to North Staff's hospital. Well, whoever's in there, I wish them the best and hope that they're good. No, where was I? I think that's better. Oh man, can't kick this cold. I don't know if it's a cold or whether it's a flu. I think it might have been the flu actually, but I certainly can't kick it. Just these last remnants. Now, being the Moorlander, one of the advantages is that we have an incredibly robust immune system. But yeah, every now and again, you know, kids bring home something from school and you get it. But it's just one of those things. Ooh, push that hard, I'm gonna get piles. GW-M5610. Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, it's no surprise, it's no secret in fact, here on Moorlander EDC, my two huge passions are backpacks. Should I put the backpack on? Let's put the backpack on. Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, it's no secret, it really isn't a secret at all, but here on Moorlander EDC, again, tits. Tits. My favourite birds. There is a UK bird. I'm sure it mustn't just be a UK bird, there's probably tits all over the world. But yeah, as a child growing up, it's always fun to go, hey, look at those tits. There's a great tit, a blue tit. Yellow? Is the blue tit's quite yellow? Boobies, that's another bird. I believe they have those all over the world as well. It's just brilliant living here. Yeah, tits and boobies. YouTube, they are birds. I'm referring to birds. When I say, look at those tits, I'm talking about birds. Where was I? It's gorgeous. I hope you can pick up the leaves. There's leaves just falling from the trees behind me. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Fucking love it out here this time of year. Beautiful. I wish I could do YouTube full time and just live out on my land. I'd be in seventh heaven. My wife would probably miss me. I'm sure the kids probably would as well, but ooh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Where was I?